If you've ever run family, you'll notice that screwdrivers come in all sorts of shapes. You've got your standard flathead, your Phillips head, the weird six-pointed Torx, and even the strange-looking square and triangle heads. Why are there so many? Are they just made like this for fun? Not at all. Each one was created to solve a specific problem. They're all about control. The flathead was the very first design. Simple and straightforward, but it had one fatal flaw. Because the screwdriver blade was completely flat, it would often slip while turning the screw, which could damage both the screw and the screwdriver. Sometimes the screw would get stuck in the wall, and then you'd need to make a follow-up video to explain what went wrong. Plus, having a tool slip out is just dangerous. So it wasn't long before someone came up with a better solution. In 1936, a businessman named Henry F. Phillips was looking for ways to improve manufacturing processes. He wanted to find a way to make assembling cars faster and safer. As he looked for an answer, he saw workers struggling with the common screwdriver. The slipping problem was still an issue, and it was slowing them down. So he invented a new type of screwdriver and a matching screw to go with it. It had a cross shape, centered inside, which seemed to him the best way to counteract slipping, and it worked. The cross shape lets the screwdriver find its center, apply more pressure, and turn the screw more efficiently. The Phillips head screw became an instant hit. Cars started using them right away. And soon other industries did too. For a while, it seemed like the Phillips head would be around forever. But by the 1960s, engineers were looking for even more ways to improve the design. This was especially important in electronics, where precision was key. A lot of screws in small places. That's when the Torx screw came along. Its six-pointed star shape gave manufacturers even more grip and power. It also made it harder for the screwdriver to strip the screw head, which was a problem that often happened with Phillips head. That's why today you see Torx screws in lots of electronics and cars. It's also the go-to shape for any situation where control is super important. Have you ever tried to open a wine bottle with a cheap corkscrew? Chances are the tool slipped out at least once. That's because corkscrews use a Torx head. The design gives the tool leverage and grip as it twists through the cork. Other screwdrivers have special purposes, too. Some are designed to reach screws in hard-to-get places like the corners of your glasses. Some have extra features like built-in LED lights or extensions. But the story doesn't end there. There are also screwdriver heads that are meant to be, well, one use only. That might sound crazy, but it makes sense in some situations. Tamper-evident or tamper-resistant fasteners are used all over the place. They look like regular screws, but they're designed to stop people from messing with things. You might see them on appliances, electronics, or even public infrastructure like water and gas mains. The idea is that if you see a screw with an unusual shape, it means the device has been tampered with. Now there are plenty of ways to get around this, but that's not the point. The idea is to add a level of visual security to make it obvious if someone has tried to open something they shouldn't. One of the strangest examples is the tri-wing screw. It was developed by Nintendo in the early 1980s and used on the original Game Boy. The screw head has 3 prongs arranged in a triangle, and the company made sure to include a matching screwdriver in each Game Boy sold. But the head was designed so that once you turned the screw, it would break off. The idea is that you can use the screwdriver to open the case, but then you can't take it back apart without damaging the tool. Obviously, that didn't stop determined repair shops and enthusiasts, but it did slow them down. In fact, the Game Boy repair community eventually developed a replacement part, essentially a fake Game Boy motherboard with the correct Torx screws already installed. Nintendo quickly switched to Torx screws on future consoles. So the next time you pick up a screwdriver, Remember that simple tools have a surprisingly complicated history. From solving workplace accidents to stopping determined repair shops, these designs aren't just bits of metal. They're tools of control. If you found this story interesting, be sure to hit us up with a like or a comment. And if you want more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. It's free and it helps our channel keep growing. Thank you for watching.